Check this, yeah. Feltham, Young Offenders Institution, Her Majesty's Young Offenders Institution and Remand Centre. Yeah. K2. You know about K2? Anyone that's been in Feltham from 92 onwards, they know about K2. I was the first ever person on there, officially. Bollocks, mate. I was only on remand. I was at Allsfair Road Magistrates Court for offences of some bullshit theft or some bollocks. We used to go like Lambert folding cells. The boys back in the day, they know how ruthless that fucking place was. Lambert folding cells, mate. But anyway, in Feltham, man's locked up with someone else on the wing, Raven it was, which was a J Hardwing, because I'd had to plead guilty. Just judge remand wing. If you know about the wings in Feltham, you know, we can all go through the alphabet, innit? Albatross, Bitten, Curlew, Dunlin, Eagle, Falcon, Grebe, Heron, Jay, Kestrel, Lapwing, Mallard, Nightingale, Osprey, Partridge, Quail, Raven, Swallow, and then you had Seg 1, Seg 2. But part of Kestrel wing after 92 used to be a wing or two wings, because you've got every wing has got two sides, a red side and a blue side. Feltham, if you've been there. Those who ain't, I'll explain it now. Each there's two sides to each wing. But they changed it. And they introduced a new anti-bully wing, or of danger to other inmates through violent reduction purposes. And I was locked up with someone, and the geezer was in for having sex with an underage girl, and he's locked in my cell. Now, back in them days, there was no electric, no kettles, no flasks, no PlayStations, no TVs, no nothing. And he's lucky to have a radio, lucky to have a fucking book, mate. But I had a radio, and the radio, little Sony radios that you got, Feltham, picked up all the pirate radio stations all across London. Took 2 AA pencil batteries, but not Duracell. You only could get Panasonic batteries at the canteen. Now these Panasonic batteries, you could get the blue ones and the green ones. I think Everready was there as well. But anyway, these batteries, you could take the casing off. Now when you took the casing off of these AA batteries, yeah, you could peel off the metal casing off the battery, and that battery casing would end up like in a square like that, and it was sharp as fuck. You could cut people with it if you wanted to. But yeah, I had to cant over the fucking bed like that, with that to his throat like that. Cut his neck. Next minute, I'm dragged down a block. Fair enough. Man, I deserved it. But I didn't deserve being locked up with a fucking bacon, mate, did I? For a sex case. Did I deserve that? So whose fucking fault's that? What would you do? So I'm down the block. Seg 1, Seg 2, I can't remember who it was, 92 it was. Down there about a week. Next minute, Kangas opened up my door. Gone, Harris, you going back on the normal allocation? Well, yeah. Stand by the gate. I stood by the gate. And I've heard all these footsteps coming through the corridors. Now, if you know Feltham, and you're standing at the gates of Seg 1 or Seg 2, looking out to the corridors, all you can see is straight ahead of you. You can't see right or left because, well, you can't. I've heard all these footsteps. Anyway, all these Kangas, screws, officers, have opened up the gate, gone past me, 8 of them, shut the gate behind them, and I'm standing there waiting to go back on normal allocation. Check this out. And they've gone to the office, and they've said to the screw officer in the office, where is he? And the screw in the office, the officer in the office, turned around and went, he's standing by the gate. Like, what? What the fuck? Meaning me. And they've just turned and looked at me, all 8 of them. I was like, oh my days, what's going on here? And they've gone, Harris? I've gone, yeah. They've gone, right, you're coming with us. Like, what the fuck? So I've carrying my fucking prison bag, all my gear in it, up the corridor from Seg 1, Seg 2, can't remember, I think it was Seg 2, up the corridor, turn right, towards reception, and then you've got Kettles on the left wing. Gone on to Kettles wing, and there's 2 sides to Kettles wing, but the servery side of Kettles wing is now officially K2, the anti-bully wing or violent reduction wing. When I was the first ever fucking person on there. It don't make me hard or clever or dangerous or special. In fact, it was a fucking liberty, mate. You put a fucking nonce or a fucking sex offender in my fucking cell and I don't do nothing, yeah, I deserve to be fucking taken down the block. But then you do something to the cunt and you end up on fucking K2. What the fuck? So yeah. I think it was about April 1992. And I remember being on there, and they said, right, Harris, bang up. I said, yeah. So I went to walk into my cell on the wing, and they went, oh, no, leave your bag there. I was like, well, hang on a minute, no, this is my IP, this is the what, in possession property. You ain't taking that from me. I'm not in the block now. I'm not governed by, you know, prison rules. No. You're leaving all your fucking stuff there. Yeah. So I had to leave all my gear in the bag, banged up in a cell. So anyway, they come to me later on that day, and they give me a fucking sheet of A4 paper. Like that. Now, this A4 sheet of paper was in relation to being on K2. And they explained to me the reason why I was on K2. They explained to me what K2 was all about. And I was the first person to be on there. And I have to stay on there for a minimum of 4 weeks. 4 weeks before I can go back to normal allocation and be put back into the community of the other prisoners. WTF? What the fuck? Now, each week there's a score system, and you could get 2,100 points per week. Now, each week, you can't gain points, you only can lose points. Now, if you lose more than 300 points, which was 1,800 points, within that week, you will then have to spend that week again. So you could potentially, minimum was 4 weeks on that K2. So they've tried to explain this to me, and I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? So, as I say, you can't gain points, you only can lose points. And if you lose points, that means you're going to end up spending another week on that fucking wing. Yeah, and they were horrible fuckers, man. They weren't nice. They were worse than the fucking block screws, mate. So check this out. Obviously understood, comprehended. Yep, okay, alright. Acknowledged why I'm there, why I'm there. And they're trying to make me an example. I've got previous for being down the block quite a few times with violence and fighting and, you know, being abusive to officers and, you know, whatever. But that's irrelevant. So the next day, they come to my cell and they bust the door open. And they've gone, right, Harris, the governor's coming round in a little while. He's going to inspect your cell. We want the whole cell cleaned out. So they give me a bucket, water, a cloth, a scrubbing brush, and a big bar of this green shitty fucking soap that they give you. Weren't no mops them days, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the whole cell needed to be cleaned. So yeah, I conformed. I scrubbed the whole cell, the kazi, the sink, the floor, the walls, everything. So when the governor come round of K2, I forget his name, horrible little cunt he was. They've cracked the door open, all like standing there in my cell intimidating me, making me stand at the end of my bed, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm in military or something. And the governor's coming, and he's got a pair of fucking white gloves on him, wearing a pair of white gloves. What? So he's looking around, he's looking around the sink, satisfactory, yeah. Looking at the kazi, looking around the bed area, got to the fucking bars, the cell bars, and he's got one of his hands wearing a white glove, and he's put his hand behind one of the bars, and he's pulled his hand away, and there's a bit of a fluff or dust on his glove, white glove, and he's gone, oh, that's a foul. What the fuck? I fucking grafted my fucking arse off, mate, cleaning that cell, that Peter, and that cunt comes along and fucking rubs his hand behind the bars. What the fuck? So what with that, he's asked for my sheet, so I've given him my sheet, and he's gone, signed it, done a calculation, yeah, and the four screws, gangers, and the fucking governors walked out and shut the door behind them. So I've looked at the paperwork, the document. Well, I've lost 400 points, which means I'm going to end up, I'm only on there my first day, and I'm getting stitched up already by losing 400 points because I'm not going to gain the 1,700 points that I need to require for me to go to the next level. So in other words, I'm there for another week. So I'm doing 5 weeks now, and I'm only there for the first day. I've been there 24 hours. And all of a sudden, my 4 weeks have now turned into 5 weeks from my first day there. I was like, what the fuck? So I've got the piece of paper, and I've ripped it like that. Ripped it like that. Ripped it like that. Ripped it like that. Ripped it all up like that in my cell. Like that. and I've poked it through the side of the door. And as I've poked it through the side of the door, my prison cell door, Feltham, I've then gone, and all the paperwork from the other side of the door on the wing must have gone like that outside. I couldn't see it. Next minute, crash, the doors come open. I'm on the bed. Mate, they fucking smashed me right up. That was my first 24 hours of being on K2. The next day, I went to court. Alderfield Road Magistrates Court. Ended up getting 2 months for the offences that I pleaded guilty for. And although I spent 2 months on remand in Feltham. Now, you know as well as I do, nowadays, if you spend 2 months in jail and you get 2 months in prison, well, that's a walkout because you've already done double that time. You're only meant to do 4 weeks or a month at that 2 month sentence and you can get a walkout. But I've done 2 months. But no, not them days, 92. I had to do 5 days for the fucking Queen. 5 days for the Queen? I was like, you having a laugh or what? Like, Harris, you got to do 5 days for the Queen. What do you mean 5 days for the Queen? Like, well, even though you've been on remand for 2 months and you've been at a 2 month sentence, and you're only meant to do a month out of 2 months, you still need to do 5 days convicted before you're released. Are you shitting me? Nope. So I ended up going to do 5 days for the Queen, which was on a Friday, although on a Monday the Kangas come to me, Odyssey Bay it was. He went to me, Harris, you're meant to get out tomorrow, aren't you? I went, yeah. He went, you do 5 days for the Queen, ain't you? I went, yeah. He went, fuck that, I'm letting you go home today. Like, sweet. Bollocks, mate, innit? But yeah, K2. Horrible little cunts. And then I got out, and then a couple of months later, I find myself back on remand in Feltham for robbery. Now, after being in the Feltham system for about 2-3 weeks, I find myself going to court, being committed to Crown, obviously for robbery, and I ended up on Kettles, which is the other side of K2. So I'm on the other side of the K2 wing, on Kettles wing, waiting to be taken to court the next morning, because what they do is they take you there the night before, so that everyone's contained in the prison in one wing, so they don't have to go chasing everyone from every wing in order throughout the jail, in order to gather them up in the morning, take them to receptions, put their own clothes on in order to take them to court. So they get everyone into that wing, in Kestrel wing, the night before. So anyway, they let us open that night to go and get our grub, and then we go from that side to K2 side where the server is, and I'm getting my food. And as I'm getting my food, there's a screw there who was on K2 when I was first person on K2, and he's looked at me and he's gone all red in the face. And I've gone, "You alright, Gov?" He went, Harris. I went, "Yeah." He went, "What are you doing here?" I went, "Well, I'm back, and I'll go." He went, "You're coming back on K2. I went, "Yeah." I said, "I swear on your fucking life, I ain't coming back on K2. What? Got me grub, got banged up. Next minute, crash, the doors come open. They told me, cellmate, to get the fuck out of the cell. Right, 4 of them in my cell. Then the governor walks in. Yeah? Harris, you're beginning to be coming back on K2. I went, here, Gov. Proper swerved it. I went, listen, I went, look. I went, like, I said, I'm a changed person. That was like 2 months ago. I said, I'm a changed person. I'm not like that anymore. I've had a bad letter from my girlfriend. Blah, 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 blah. So I showed him the letter. He looked at it, he went, alright, going to give you the benefit of the doubt. So he's like, let me off. I said, well, yeah. 6 weeks later, I ended up getting nicked for attempted murder for smashing, what was his name? Elwood over the head with a PP9 in a sock. Well, 2 socks. You know, big batteries. He was in for murder. Stabbed his landlord 17 times with a screwdriver for refusing to pay his rent. I was only in for robbery, but mate, what do you do? It was on camera as well. But, so fucking what? 2 months down the block? Well hard. But yeah, K2. That's just a couple of stories, mate. I feel sorry for them fuckers who had to undergo that 4-week fucking treatment. I was lucky, I swerved it. But, yeah. Never forget it. They weren't happy when I ripped up the paper off that sheet and put it through the side of the door and went, it all must have gone. No sooner does all that paperwork hit the fucking floor, that door crashed open, mate, and they were on me. They proper give me a good hiding. Mr. Harris, yeah, there's a few of them, but fuck them. Should have put me in the fucking cell for bacon, should ya? And it's my fault. Fuck off.